On this week's live stream, our Robot Idol competition is back. Design a robot, teach it to dance, and build a legend. Plus, Mr. T takes the mystery out of custom blocks. And meet a scratcher who's taking Mario to a whole new level. All this and more on the Chromeworks Live.
Hey guys, I don't know what happened there. I had some glitches, obviously, in the in the production today. Welcome back, everybody. Happy New Year to all my users out there and all you happy scratchers. I am really happy to be back this year, and we wanted to start things off with a bang. So we're reintroducing a really fun new competition that we got going way back in the early days of Chromeworks, right back at the beginning of the lockdowns in probably like May 2020. I wanted to teach drawing in Scratch, and I thought drawing robots was the obvious way to go because I use a lot of simple geometric shapes. And so I designed this little robot behind me called Chromie the Robot. And after I did that, I realized, well, it's not too hard to animate this fellow. And so I started moving his arms around, and that got me into learning all about custom blocks and how to set up motions and stuff like that that would that can repeat over and over again to automate these kind of chores. And pretty soon, I had all kinds of kids making amazing robots for me, and we started setting them to music. And then we turned that into a competition. And so we had our first Robot Idol competition way back in the spring of 2020. It was fantastic. And so I thought I'd resurrect it again this year, and I'd like to turn this into an annual event, basically, where we're going to get all the kids of the world, all the little scratchers, to make their own robots for me, and then submit them to a studio, and we're going to have a competition. Now, I don't have any serious prizes to go. Our channel's still pretty poor, but one thing that I am going to do for the winners, and there's going to be multiple winners in this competition, is we're going to make them all the robots that you guys design are going to be starring in a music video that we're putting together. So we're going to start working in February on a big collaborative project, a big music video, and you'll learn a little bit more about that inside Scratch that we're going to publish on YouTube as well. And that is going to end up being starring a whole bunch of robots that you guys designed. So if you do a good robot for me, we're going to give it a role in this music video that we're playing here. So you'll be able to see it in this hopefully viral video production that we're putting together. So really excited to be doing that with you guys. So yeah, a busy couple of weeks lined up. I'm going to be unveiling a bunch of our new trailer for the Robot Idol and showing her a new webpage in a minute. But first, let's just say hi to everyone who's online with us this morning. Good morning to Crazy Kirby Boy in Florida. Hi, Thane.
Hey.
Hey, so we're going to be back talking to you in a couple of minutes about some of the work that you've been doing. Thane has been super busy working on digital storytelling projects, and so we're going to be talking to him in a little bit. I'm also joined by Lena way off in Monaco, next door to France in Europe. Good morning, Lena, if you're there.
Hello.
Hi. And we will be talking to Lena in a second, too, because she had a part to play in this Robot Idol competition as well. I'm going to talk to her in a second about that. And I'm joined also by Deck, the decoder over in London, England. Good morning, Deck.
Hi.
Hi. And so Deck has some stuff going. I'm joined also over on YouTube by a couple of our regulars, including our top secret Asian, who's our moderator, and Duck Goose, whose work we're actually going to be showing off in a little bit. Duck Goose is a very talented scratcher who's been making games for a while. We have a review of one of his games coming up, and we're going to show you a couple of other things he's working on as well. So we're excited about that. And we have, I forget your name again. It's he's under his mom's account. So Barbara, if you can remind me what your username is, I'll give you a shout out on the stream again. I got to make a note of that. Okay, so let's get moving here, guys. I got lots of content for you today, and I have a feeling we're going to be pressed for time. So let's get over to my teaching screen. This is the Robot Idol homepage, which is over at chromeworks.ca/robot. And it's a bit of a work in progress. There's the URL there. Let me try that one more time. My Zoom wasn't very good. chromeworks.ca/robot. And so this is going to be the place where you can link to the studios where you're going to be sharing your finished robots and all the tutorials. So I'm going to be starting a whole bunch of tutorials up in the next couple of weeks explaining different aspects of how to make this robot. So so there's going to be links on this page as well. And if you subscribe to my YouTube channel, you'll see the stuff posted there. But this is kind of the one-spot clearinghouse for all the information on Robot Idol. I'm going to get right to it right now and show you guys the launch trailer. So we haven't done any of the tutorials yet. We just wanted to get stuff going and get people excited about this project. So here is the official trailer showing off our new contest.
And now, on with the show.
Robot Idol.
Well, guys, so yeah, that is the trailer for our brand new. I just want to make sure my microphone's on. Yeah, it is. Okay, yeah, that's the trailer for our brand new project, and I'm really excited to see what you guys come up with. Let's see lots and lots of robots. Starting next week, I'm going to be coming up with the first tutorial, which is how to draw your own robot. So I'm joined now by Soy Lena Efedia, who goes by the name Galaxy and also by the name Lena on Scratch. And this week I asked her to design a brand new mascot for our contest, and she's done a wonderful job, and I'd like to introduce you to the Chromebot 3000, the new mascot for our contest. We're going to be animating this fellow and teaching him to dance in the course of the next couple of weeks, and I'll teach you how to draw him as well. Lena, are you with us there?
Yeah.
Hi. So I really like your robot, by the way. Congratulations on doing a lovely thing. You took a much different approach than I did with my guy. First of all, I noticed that you've gone with thick borders on this character, eh? Tell me a little bit about what your kind of design thoughts were on making this robot.
I thought making thick borders because it would make him look kind and not too scary, because it could end up with thin borders or without to look a bit scary, and I didn't want it to look scary, so yeah.
Okay, so it's kind of a friendly approach. I love his eyes especially. I'm going to zoom in on his eyes here. I'm super impressed. You said earlier this week that you weren't very happy with the way that you draw eyes, but I think these are lovely expressive eyes. This definitely looks like a friendly little robot here. The thick lines, one of the things I notice about them is they give the whole robot a bit of a kind of beveled look. It looks a little bit like it's three-dimensional because you can see the gradients in the front, and then and it looks like it's kind of popping out from an angled edge on the robot. So it gives it a bit of a 3D look too. I'm quite impressed. So did you have fun making this, Lena?
Yeah.
Good. Anyway, so we're looking forward to we're looking forward to animating it and teaching kids how to draw it in the next couple of weeks. So so you guys can look forward to that. Okay, so I think that's it for Robot Idol right now. As I said, I've got all kinds of other stuff coming up in the next few weeks that I'm really looking forward to showing you. All right, so I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about imitation being the sincerest form of flattery here. So so Crazy Kirby Boy Thane also goes by the name of Retro Gamer the Tuber on Scratch, and he's been making projects for quite a while here. He's been a Chromeworks member for a long time. We have a new Chromeworks member, Mr. Creeper Plays Games from England, who's been joining us for the last little while. He is quite a popular scratcher, and he's been making storytelling projects for quite a while, and he has about 5,000 viewers, so he's a pretty serious character in the Scratch community. He's been joining us here online for the next little while. I was hoping he'd show up today, but I guess not. Hi to Adam, by the way, who aka Barbara. So sorry, I had to use your mom's name. I'm going to try and make a note of that and remember that next time, Adam. So welcome back to the stream again, buddy. Anyway, so Thane has been looking at Mr. Creeper's projects and just loving them, and it's got him interested in the idea of digital storytelling. Thane, tell us a little bit about what kind of got you going on this. It seemed like you were kind of dropping out of Scratch, and then things started to heat up for you again. Tell me about your journey here.
So, when I was looking at his projects, I noticed that they were all like scribbles, so I decided to make them more vector and like more the character. Like for Swike the Explorer, I used his OC because his OC is Swike. And then for the Chicken Child project, I used the Stickman because for that Pine made.
Yeah, so Mr. Creeper's projects, and it's his deliberate art style. He's gone with something very, very simple. I'm going to put some projects on the background here, actually, in a second now. So he goes with a very simple art style, and what Thane decided to do was do a much cleaner and crisper vector-looking version of his images. And I'm going to show you his two projects side by side. I had one of my co-op students put this together for me today. So let's go watch one of Mr. Creeper's famous projects, and you'll see Thane's version of it over on the right. And when you watch them side by side, you can see the really amazing work that both of them have done putting this story together. Thane putting his own spin on a fun story by another scratcher. Let's play that right now.
Hey, wanna hear a joke?
Sure, why not?
Okay, why did the chicken cross the road?
I don't know.
Tell us why you crossed the road.
I don't know.
Where were you on the night of July 6th?
I was asleep with my family.
Looks like we're taking this to court.
Order in the court. Now, can the opposition please state their case?
Your Honor, that chicken doesn't know why he crossed the road.
Defendants, what do you plead?
Your Honor, Mr. Chicken isn't guilty.
May the defendants bring forth their evidence?
Well, looks like you're fried chicken.
I find the defendant guilty of all charges. You are hereby sentenced to 4 to 5 minutes in a KFC. And also, no chance of parole. Case dismissed.
What would you like to order today?
I would like a box of Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Coming right up. No.
Hola.
Sorry, hit some wrong buttons there again. All right, so anyway, really nice work redoing that, Thane. I thought that was a really clever thing. How long did that take you to do?
Well, if I did it all straight in one piece, it'd probably take maybe 2 hours.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
So I thought it might have taken much longer. So that's a really cool example of how, if you're not sure how to start with this kind of stuff, imitation really is the sincerest form of flattery, right? Just try drawing your own characters and insert them into somebody else's story. And use that as a starting point. So, Thane, you've gotten so interested in this stuff that you've started working on your own projects. Tell me about Jailbreak.
Oh, wait, sorry. I was planning to make it a Henry Stickman thing before, but I decided to just make it an animation.
Right. So you use some of the skills that you developed working on Mr. Creeper stuff and apply them to this, eh? So this is a very short little project called Jailbreak, but I just wanted to show it off to you guys to see how Thane's work is coming along. I've been quite impressed with this. So let's have a look at this right now.
Oi, kid, you got a package.
outro is by another scratcher. I put it in the description.
Right, right. Yeah, really nice little project. So this is the kind of stuff that I'm getting super excited about as we as I sort of carry on to the scratcher myself. I want to make more of these projects rather than just making game after game after game. I'm interested in learning how to make these story projects, and it seems like many of the biggest scratchers out there are people who make little kind of TV programs like this. So Thane, you have big ambitions to do this kind of stuff yourself and maybe build your viewership, huh? Let me show you Thane's channel again. So you're going to rebrand and come up with a brand new channel for your story projects, Thane, is that right?
Be called TKB Studios, standing for Techie Kirby Boy Studios.
Okay. Well, we're very excited to have a look at that in the next little while. I also wanted to give another plug to Mr. Creeper Plays Games. He's done some fantastic work as well. So despite the name games, his projects are mostly here, let me look at his shared projects here. His projects are mostly storytelling projects, and they are brilliantly funny. He uses his own voice to narrate these things, and he's quite a lovely actor as well. So he goes under the name RGB Plays on YouTube, and he has his own YouTube channel that I really think you guys should give a view to. I'm going to put the links to all of this stuff down in the description after I'm done here today. So if anything I'm talking about you're interested in, you can find a link to it. Let me just show you quickly one of his non-scratch projects. This is my first video.
Hi YouTube, you know, this is my first video, as you might have seen by the title. Yeah, this is going to be a completely normal video. I'm just going to do some let's plays on some like, ooh, you're a chicken. Hi chicken, what are you going to, wait, no, wait, what is that? No, no buttons, no, I don't know what that does. Wait, no, oh no, no, no! Come on. I just found a...
So who doesn't like a psychotic chicken, of course? So that was, so thanks very much for that. RGB, or otherwise known as Mr. Creeper Plays Games, done some really, really cool work. So I'd recommend you guys check out his channel and check out his Scratch channel as well. So a little confusing, his Scratch name is Mr. Creeper Plays Games, but his online presence is RGB Plays. All right, so this week I was contacted, well, I put out a little social media message earlier in the week asking people to submit games or suggest games that they'd like Abraham, our game reviewer, to do. And I was contacted by a fellow by the name of Duck Goose, who it turns out has also been active on YouTube here with us, and I believe has been on our Discord channel as well. I had no idea that he was such a talented scratcher, and so I set Abraham loose to do a review of one of his games, and I think you guys will be quite impressed by his work. So let's get onto that right now. Where did that go? Ooh. I thought that I had it set up in my thing here. Let me just play it the old-fashioned way. Let me manually load it up here, guys. Sorry, I thought it's the first stream of the new year, and I am a little behind the 8-ball here. So let's do it the old-fashioned way. What? Sorry, guys, not very pro, eh? Where did it go? Why can't I find it? Why can't I find it? Okay. So I'm going to get looking for that right now. Actually, so we're going to switch the order around a little bit here while I go looking for that video. Obviously something, I had a last minute technical glitch here. So let's get onto that in a little bit. I actually have another piece of content for you, so I'm going to show you one of my tutorials while we're waiting. So I was contacted also by someone over on YouTube a couple of weeks ago who mentioned that they're really clueless about custom blocks. So I thought I'd do a little tutorial. I'm actually starting a tutorial series this week. I'm going to do at least 2 parts and maybe 3 on how to properly use custom blocks. So let me show you part 1 of the video here. It's a nice little tutorial just giving you everything you need to know to be able to use custom blocks. And we'll be back with Duck Goose's project in just a minute. So I had a message the other week from a scratcher who goes by the handle Lalabus, and he told me he'd been scratching for 3 years and he still doesn't have a clue what the My Blocks section of the Scratch Tools palette is all about. Well, Lalabus, you're not alone. My Blocks, or custom blocks as they're also known, are one of the most mysterious areas of the Scratch interface for many Scratch users. All the other sections of the Scratch tool palette, sounds, motion, sensor blocks, etc., all have lots of example blocks to get you started. But when you navigate over to My Blocks, you're just faced with a big blank area of the screen and you wonder, what am I supposed to do with this? In the next couple of weeks, we'll be taking a closer look at the My Blocks palette and learn all the funky, cool things that you can do to up your coding game with help from these surprisingly powerful tools. Now, custom blocks, which live right down here at the bottom of the Scratch Blocks palette, really serve 3 different functions in the program. Number 1, they help to keep you organized. Number 2, they avoid having to do repetitive tasks over and over again, saving you some code. And thirdly, in some cases, they can make your code run dramatically faster. So I'm creating a very simple triangle drawing program here that's going to help to illustrate these points. To help me out, I've deployed the pen tool, which you can find down in the extensions menu at the bottom left. So it's not part of Scratch's regular tool set, but by clicking here on the pen button, we can get a whole bunch of new blocks that we can use to control how to draw on the screen. So when I click the green flag, when the program starts, we're just going to erase any existing drawings that are on the screen. We'll make a little sound effect here called Squish Pop, which will kind of add a little dramatic flair to the project. And we're just going to initialize things here. We'll go to the middle of the screen and we'll point in direction 90, so we're facing the same way every time. And we're going to put our pencil down right down on the middle of the screen and move 50 pixels to the right. And you'll see when I click the green flag, that makes a horizontal blue line go across the screen, exactly 50 pixels wide. So to make a triangle, any of you math whizzes out there will know we have 360 degrees in a circle, which means that if we want to make a triangle, we have to bend 1/3 of 360, which is 120 degrees each time we go around. So I'm going to turn 120 degrees and then move another 50 steps. And let's have a look at our progress here. There we go. And so now we've added a second leg to our triangle. And let's do the same thing one last time. We'll turn 120 degrees and move an additional 50 steps. And that closes off our triangle there. Beautiful. Now I'm going to turn an additional 120 degrees so that we don't, so that later on we'll be facing in the same direction again. Okay, well also at the end of drawing something, you want to put your pen up so that if you move your cursor around, it won't drag a line to the new spot where you're going to start drawing again. Okay, so any sharp-eyed coders out there will already see that I've done stuff very inefficiently here. The first thing I want to do is I've repeated the same blocks of code here 3 times over again. So in our quest for efficiency, we're going to get rid of most of this stuff and put a repeat block down. So we're going to repeat this function 3 times. And let's get rid of these blocks here. So now all we have is a single iteration of move 50 steps and turn 120 degrees. All right, so you'll see I've actually made a space key here that will erase your screen off. And when I click the green flag, we get a triangle right away here. Beautiful. Okay, so the part of the code here that actually draws the triangle is this section right here. So what we're going to start doing now is drawing multiple triangles on the screen here. So I'm going to duplicate the triangle drawing part of the program as well as this location block here. So let's do a right click, duplicate. And now I'm going to send this new guy to a different spot. We'll send him to 100, 100. And when I click the green flag, you see we have 2 triangles here now. And I can do that one last time. And let's send them to -100 and -100. And that'll give us 3 triangles. Well, that's a lot of code, and again, very inefficient, right? So we could throw all of this in another loop again to be more efficient here, but I'm going to show you a much cooler way to do it using custom blocks. So let's get back down to the original part of the code here again. So we're going to isolate the part of the program that actually does the triangle drawing, and we're going to put it into a custom block. So we're going to create a custom block that we can name Make Triangle. And remember how I said we can use custom blocks to organize things, and so this is how we're going to do it. We're going to take all the triangle drawing bits and put them all under one single block. So let's go ahead to the My Blocks palette, and we'll click on that white button that says Make a Block. Now there's a bunch of options here that we'll talk about in future episodes, but firstly we're just going to go with the plain vanilla version of the custom block, which only has a name and doesn't really do a whole lot else. So I'm going to type the name of my custom block here, Make Triangle. There we go, and I'm going to click OK. And you'll see that now I have this big block here that says define make triangle. So underneath here we have to put the code for how we make a triangle, which we've already isolated here. I'm going to plunk that there. And you'll see over on the left here where we have this big mysterious blank area, we now have a new pink block called make triangle. So I've made my own block that does its own thing here. Let's erase the screen here, and you'll see that when I click the make triangle block, it draws a triangle in the last place where I moved my blank sprite. So I can go to any spot on the screen here now. Let's use a go to block here. So actually we've already got this going here. We've got the go to 0, 0. Let's go make triangle, and we'll create our triangle in the center. Now I can create a new triangle at -100, -100, and again, instead of using a loop here, I can go make triangle again, and now I have my 2 triangles. And I can do the same thing again one last time here. And you can see how I can save myself a little bit of trouble with this custom block. And I've also made it really easy to code. So there we got my 3 triangles. So one of the nice things about doing this way as compared to putting it all into one long block of code is I can change some of the parameters here. For example, if I want a slightly bigger triangle, I can move 75 steps. I don't have to make the change in one spot here. And now, bang, I'm good to go. Or if I want to draw squares instead of triangles, I can tell it to turn 90 degrees. And now I've got a bunch of squares here, but I've only done it 3 times, so I actually have to finish the last line of the square off if I wanted to do that, which I would have to do by repeating that loop 4 times instead of 3, like so. There we go. Okay, so let's go back to our triangle code again, and we'll change that back to 120 degrees. So as you can see here, we've already accomplished 2 of our goals with this custom block. Our project is definitely more organized. Anyone coming into this project cold, if they were remixing it, for example, would be able to right away see that we were making triangles and how we were doing it, and see that we were doing it 3 times. So that's really, really helpful if you're going to somebody else's code for sure, to make it easier for other people. Secondly, we are avoiding repetition. There's a whole bunch of blocks here that we can just keep calling over and over again. Now to show you the third use of custom blocks, which is to make things run faster, I'm gonna have to draw a whole bunch more triangles. So let's get rid of this last couple of make triangle blocks. We're gonna get rid of this go to 0, 0 as well. And we're gonna send this triangle drawing scheme off to a random position. So we're gonna make this happen inside of a loop and make it draw many, many triangles. Let's start with 10 triangles here. Now this code isn't perfect because it's going to occasionally send the triangle drawing to the edge of the screen where it's going to bump into a wall and bounce off, and it won't successfully make a triangle that way because Scratch won't draw off the edge of the screen. Let's see what happens here. Actually, yeah, so this one over on the right here, you can see didn't quite work out properly. We can fix that in the code, but for the purpose of this demonstration, not really a problem. So we can draw a whole bunch of triangles here by making this loop much higher. Let's draw 100 triangles. And you can see that we just have triangles like crazy going across the screen here. It takes quite a while though. So how long is this actually taking to draw? Let's ask Scratch to count. So I've created a little block here inside Scratch the cat, who I'm going to make visible now, that basically tells him to say the amount on the timer. The timer resets itself at the end of, at the beginning of every project. And so he's just going to say, this took this many seconds. I just have to call this time check by adding a little event block here that says a broadcast time check. And I'm going to have that happen at the very end of the project once we're done our little loop here. So let's run our triangle drawing program one more time here. And as you can see, it takes quite a while to go here. And in a second, Scratch will tell us yes. So it took almost 10 seconds to draw 100 triangles here. Now you're not going to want necessarily to have to watch these triangles being drawn every time, depending on what kind of a program you're running here. What's happening here is that there's an artificial speed limit set up in Scratch. Scratch is set to play animations at 30 frames every second, and it switches automatically between frames of animation every time that it comes around a loop here. So what's happening here is every time we repeat this 100 loop here, we are waiting 1/30th of a second before we come around the loop and try it again. Now, custom blocks allow us to get around this limit by using an option that makes Scratch do everything inside the single frame of animation. And to do that, when we're creating the block, we have to tick a special little checkbox at the bottom left here that's called Run Without Screen Refresh. When that is selected, then Scratch will do everything inside that custom block inside the same frame of animation, even if it's inside a loop. So this can really supercharge your program and get them running much, much more quickly. So let's go ahead and upgrade our existing custom block here by right-clicking on it and selecting Edit. We can click Run Without Screen Refresh, and while we're in here, let's change Make Triangle to Make Triangles, since we're making many triangles here. There we go. Now we're going to have to get the benefits of this speed boost, we're going to have to take this repeat 100 loop and contain it inside the custom block. So let's reconfigure our code a little bit so that we're drawing more than one triangle inside the code here. I'm going to take a repeat 100 and put my entire triangle drawing routine inside here. I'm also going to put the go to random position here before I put my pen down. I'm going to switch to a new location 100 times. That's it for the make triangles part down here under the green flag. We're going to tell it to make triangles. And then at the very end of that routine, we're going to broadcast our time check. Okay, so let's go ahead and test this and see how long that takes. Ready, set, go. Whoa, and you can see that took 0.078 seconds, remarkably fast compared to the 10 seconds we were taking a minute ago. Let's try that again. 0.033, 0.034. Every once in a while it takes a little bit longer. 0.07 you can see here, and I'm not quite sure what that's all about. So if you do the math here, you can see that we're actually drawing these triangles 100 times faster than we were the old-fashioned way. We've broken through Scratch's speed limit and done something much more efficient, which is really great. You can really see that happen when we start to draw even more of these guys. Let's draw 1,000 inside our make triangles routine here and see what that looks like. Again, almost instantly, 0.03 seconds. We have a ton of these here. Let's try even more. Let's try 10,000 and see what happens. And we have so many triangles, our screen is just full of blue, but Scratch was able to do it in even less time, 0.028 seconds. So just tremendous speed increases. I don't even want to try to see how long it would take Scratch to go 10,000 times around that loop. So a very concrete illustration here of how you can dramatically speed up your programs by using this block. Now the one thing that I would caution you about using this run without screen refresh block is in some cases it actually does make your program run slower rather than faster. If you're running code that already has a delay built into it, for example if there's a wait block in it, or if there's a play until done block, for example, let's put that play squish pop until done right into the top of the loop here. And now this is going to force the custom block to actually wait for the duration of the sound effect before it goes around the loop one more time. And that's just going to ruin all of the efficiencies that we created inside of this custom block here. And as you can see, we're back to drawing blocks very, very slowly at this point. So you definitely want to be careful about where you use this, but used properly, it can be a very, very powerful tool. I hope that sorted out some of the mystery and bafflement that's been surrounding custom blocks for you guys. Next week in part 2, I'm going to show you some of the more advanced features inside this custom blocks menu, including the ability to add inputs and labels, and that will really up your custom block game and have you coding like a pro. If you like what you see here, please like, subscribe, and leave me a comment. And if you do make something with your newfound skills at custom blocks, please share it with me. I'm at Mr. Tomac on Scratch, and whatever you make, if I like it, I will show it on my weekend live stream, Saturdays at 10 a.m. on YouTube. Well, thank you, Mr. Tomac, for that very insightful report. Yeah, next week I'm going to be back and I'm going to teach you how to take this to the next level, which is we're going to make a block that makes triangles and then allows you to set the X, Y coordinates right inside the block here. You guys have probably seen custom blocks that have parameters in them, parameters being the ability to change some of the variables just inside the one block. This is a parameter here in repeat. It's repeat how many times? 10,000 times, right? So the ability to add parameters to your blocks makes them even more powerful, and I'm going to teach you how to do that next week. All right, so apologies again to Duck Goose, who I had to put on hold there for a little bit. I was in the wrong folder looking for the project, but I did find it now. I don't have it set up inside my OBS, so I'm just going to play this the old-fashioned way. So just one more time as a reminder, this is a recent game project by Duck Goose 9254. Let's play the project right now anyway. A fantastic new Mario game that I want to show you guys. And just going to take a second to rev up here.
Hello everybody, today we'll be reviewing Super Mario on Scratch by Duck Goose 9254. And without further ado, let's get right into it. One day, Mario and Luigi were having a fun time playing with the Toads. While they were having fun, Bowser and King Boo were planning how to take over the Mushroom Kingdom. Out of nowhere, Bowser and King Boo attacked them. Bowser sent the Toads flying and split the moon to pieces. King Boo took away Luigi. Mario begins his search to save Luigi and the Mushroom Kingdom. Looks like this is where our journey begins. Looks like we found one of the toads that Bowser scattered across the Mushroom Kingdom. Bowser sent the toads flying and per usual in all of the Mario games, we must stomp on the Goombas. So far, this game has replicated the feeling of an official Mario game pretty well. Looks like we've already found our first moon. The game is pretty simple so far, but later on you will get more diverse enemies that are difficult to deal with. Here is Toad number 2. Looks like he's here to tell us how to defeat these enemies. I'm not sure exactly how many levels there are in this game, but I've made it up to Bowser's Castle, which is the 4th level. We're gonna wait here for a second so that plant can go down. Let's take a second to learn more about the origin of Super Mario on Scratch 5. Super Mario on Scratch 5 is the 5th edition of the Super Mario on Scratch series, and here in the background you can see that the very first edition is being played right now. You can really tell that Duck Goose has come a long way from where he began. Super Mario and Scratch 5 has over 900 assets, so it might take a while to load, and it took Duck Goose over 7 months to make this game. In case you're having trouble with Super Mario and Scratch 5, Duck Goose has a 100% walkthrough on his YouTube channel. If you're interested in playing the Super Mario and Scratch series, Duck Goose has a studio with the Super Mario and Scratch games, including Super Mario and Scratch 5 and the original Super Mario and Scratch game. Super Mario 5 is a very fun game that closely resembles official Mario games. I 100% recommend you check it out and the rest of the Super Mario and Scratch series. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.
Oh, what a total noob I am. I was so busy chatting that I didn't even realize I was still up on the screen. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, so a beautiful looking game, Duck Goose. I was quite impressed. One of the things that really impressed me is that you made your very own graphics for this. So all of the sprites in here are hand-drawn lovingly by Duck Goose, and he's just done such a lovely job drawing these things and animating them and creating the look and feel, like even the transitions and the help screens all really bring home that feeling of Mario. And it looks also like you've come up with your own stories rather than simply remixing Mario games. You've actually come up with brand new narratives that go along with this as well. I am just so impressed by your work, sir, that I am making you the Scratcher of the Week. So congratulations to Duck Goose 9254, our Scratcher of the Week. And if you want to look at more of Duck Goose's games, here is a folder that has all of his Super Mario series on here. He's got 5 different incarnations, and he's also got some special Halloween versions of his games that he set up here as well. So he's doing some really amazing work. I cannot believe the amount of work that went into this stuff. You obviously love your Mario content, and really impressive. I'm going to leave a link here in the chat to Duck Goose's work. So congratulations, Duck Goose. You're our Scratcher of the Week. I wanted to give an honorable mention also to somebody else who reached out to me this week, and that is Mrs. Crazy Pants. She's doing some really cool work here. I just wanted to really quickly show you some of her projects. And she's done a couple of interactive projects in the last little while that I've been really impressed with. They're all kind of witch themed, and what I love about them is they're the kind of project that has super simple code that even a little kid could do, right? So here, for example, we've got a little loop running here. I'm going to stop the sound effects for a second here, where if you're touching the mouse pointer, you get some information on whatever's happening. So there's also the clickable, it's just an interactive piece of art, basically, that you can click and make stuff happen to. And I just really love the simplicity of this project. Let's click around a little bit and see some of the stuff that's happening inside the project here. So when I click on the broom, for example, it does a little sweeping thing here. When I click on the witch, it changes her costume and gives a little spell sound. Let's see what the cat does. The cat wakes up and rolls over and waits for a pet when you click it. This is fantastic. And all of these jewels here all have a little description of what the actual, what that gemstone is supposed to mean inside the Wiccan belief system, I believe. And let's try clicking the crystal ball and see what happens there. I think it just starts animating a little bit. Actually, I don't think it does that at all. Anyway, just a lovely little project. I wanted you to have a look at Mrs. Crazy Pants' other work. She has a whole studio here full of witchy themed projects that are all the same, along the same lines, basically. So you'll find a link. Yes, Thane?
I've been working on something, and just wanted to show to you and ask Mr. T.
All right. Thane has a surprise project for us. I'm going to show that in just a second when I wrap up with Witchy here. So do give Miss Crazy Pants a look. I'm going to put a link over in the in the file description here so you can have a look at some of her stuff. This kind of interactive project is really super great for school projects as well. You can imagine a scientist's laboratory or almost anything using the same kind of coding techniques. If you just do a little remix on this, you could do all kinds of really cool and informative school projects. Okay, Thane has a surprise project for us here. I'm going to call it up right now. It's something he was just working on during the stream here, so let's show it off here. And it is called Chromeworks Robot Idol 2022 trailer. Let's have a look.
Robot Idol. Animate robots. Make them dance. Go to chromeworks.ca/robots to learn more.
Love it! Wow, just I'm amazed that you made that up so quickly, Thane.
It's a trailer for it's a Chromeworks trailer for Scratch, not for YouTube, but for Scratch.
Yeah, I love it. So I will definitely share this, buddy, and make some notice on it. I do think that you need to fix the sound mix a little bit. Your voice was a little bit too quiet and the music was too loud. So play with the volume a little bit. But I think it's a fantastic project, and I will share it, and I'll put it in the file description down below as well if anyone else wants to have a look at it. Okay, so I think that we're almost out of content here. Yeah, so I've shown Miss Crazy Pants' project. So I am back next week with part 1 of our robot drawing and animating series, which is going to turn into a contest, as I said. So Robot Idol part 1 next week, how to draw a robot. And we're going to be using Lena's very cool robot animation to do that. And I will also be bringing you part 2 of our custom blocks series, guys. So thanks very much for joining me, and I will catch you